Penn State already has the ball. Which sure as heck would be a long night for the Washington offense. A lot of arguing going on. Alright, back to draft. It's looking great pocket, by the way. No pressure. One of the D-line hits me. Got past the line of scrimmage, throws it up, and caught by Aeropie. Washington already showing its true colors. Alright, second and goal. Weird. Should be first and goal, but alright. And dead play. They could not get the snap ball. It would be second and goal from around the 7-yard line, 6.5-yard line, something around that. And timeout Washington. Washington, only 10 players on. Called a timeout. Has 11 players now. Washington already spent the timeout. Okay. Alright, Penn State, first and goal, 6.5-yard line. Runs it up the gut, gets 1 yard down to the 50-yard line. Second and goal, survived, suspended. Flag on the play, hands it off. But he already has a suspension. Currently, teams are looking at a suspension. Spot survived. Okay. Anywho. Washington takes it up to about the 32-yard line. This would be their second drive already. After throwing a pick right to Mojo last time. Penn State finishes it off with Mars. Not the O-line Mars, running back. And then we're going to see what Penn State does. Fuck me. Penn State scored last drive. We're going to see what Washington does here. Alright, drops the pass, fighting. 2 yards on the play. Down to the 34-yard line. Yes, back to pass. Not protected well. Has to throw it. A terrible pass. And it will be 3rd and 8 already for the Washington Huskies. What you need to maybe see out of the receiver course is to try to abuse all the shorter routes right early on, then continue down to the deep routes. But 3rd and 8. Play clock dropping down to 5. Snaps the ball. Gas. Back to pass. Finds a man. Over the middle. That's TR1. 1st down. Washington. Back to pass. No. It's alright. Fighting Sins. A loss of 1. O-line is not doing well today. Maybe we can see them over the next 4 quarters produce themselves a better game. Gas snaps the ball. Back to pass. Great pocket this time. Runs around, dumps it off to Fighting Sins for a pitch, and gets close to a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and inches. That's what you want to see out of your running back. Right there for a pitch and an open gap and get a good amount of yards. Fighting Sins gets the 1st down and more. A good 12 gain for the Washington offense. Back to pass, Gas. Better pocket usually, and over the middle, overthrown. Incomplete. It will be 2nd and 10. I believe the receiver he was aiming for was Dick Green. I probably might be wrong. Alright, back to pass. Gas. Better pocket than usual. Dumps it off. That's TR1 again with another big 1st down. Alright. Let's see what you can do, Gas. Back to pass. Fighting Sins, a good 2 yards gain right there. They'll be setting up a 2nd and 8. And we have not seen too much out of Fighting Sins except for that one run. Just got a good 12-yard gain. And the pitch. We got a 10-yard gain. Maybe we can see a lot more explosiveness with the pitches outside. Anyways, Gas rolls right. And over the middle, touchdown! TR1. Tie game. That's what you want to see out of the offense, Washington. They come back, after throwing a pick, get a touchdown. Go for 2. Hands it off to Fighting. Gets stopped. Gets stopped by Loyal Boy. We're tied at 6. What are my predictions for the next drive at Penn State? Going back to Arapai. Alright, here we go. What does Mr. Luke do? Back to pass. Great pocket again. And oh my gosh. Oh my god. Washington takes their last timeout. What is going on? That is Webb with a huge gain. 9 players on for Washington. Calling for an unserver lock. Still have 1 timeout. Back to pass. Touchdown. Pie. Gonna be taken back, I would guess. Axel hands it off. 2 points good. 14-6. My prediction was correct. It went back to Pie for the touchdown. If you're just coming in from the Oregon and Cal stream, currently Penn State is leading 14-6 due to a lot of defensive issues on Washington only having 9 players on last drive and only having 10 players on the previous drive. Before last drive. Washington threw a pick first play, and that's where you see 14-6. Dead play, first and 15. False start on Meg. And that is the offensive guard on the right side, flag on the play. Drops back to Cass. Over the middle. Ball despawns. Penalty is offset. That was what happened. We're going to take a guess. It was on one of the offensive linemen again, and one of the DBs. Back to pass. Rolling right. One of the linemen got sat down. Takes a big shot and caught. That is Dick Green with a huge reception. First and 10. Washington. This is going to be a very offensive game so far. So, see how it goes. Alright, back to pass. Great pocket. Finds the receiver. That is Dick Green again. For a good gain of 11. That'll be first and 10. Washington. We got about a minute and 35 left in the first quarter. Alright, back to pass, guys. Not as good pocket. He's getting pressured. Finds a way to escape it. He's going to run himself. He's going to truck. And his fumble turnover. That is Penn State ball. Washington cannot get it started anywhere. Penn State only has 10 players. They can legally not have 5 O-line. Are they going to find out? They cannot have 5. Down the middle. That's Zach's. 6 yards on the play. First and second and 4. Alright, flag on the play. Back to pass. Watch him going for arrow pie now. No. Takes a shot on someone else and dropped. Could have caught that. Should have caught that. Not set on the perfectionist. One of the DBs. Now it's going to be second one for Penn State. Yeah. Should be first and 10. Well, anywho. Already. False start. Johnny. False start. Arrow pie. First and 10. Flag on the play. And oh! That should have been picked by the same person who was drawing the flag. Not set. Alright. Got in the middle and he actually threw the pass. Alright, flag on the play. And he'll find. Oh my god. Iggy! Touchdown! Iggy, wide receiver 4, touchdown. Penn State. And no set up for 2-point conversion. Active pass, 12. Incomplete, overthrown. to 6, Penn State leading. Reminder to everybody, Penn State was a late team that came into the college football RCFB, so the fact that they're leading over Washington right now, apparently there should have been another exploiter. Alright, kickoff. What can Washington do? Alright, he's going to take the return. And gonna go nowhere. Down to the 20-yard line. They'll be setting up 1st and 10 at the 20. And here comes the Washington offense. Led by Gash, who has thrown a pick and fumbled the ball. Some people in the media might be calling them a scrim team. Can I agree right now? Yes, I can. Now, they definitely have the time to turn it around due to it still being the first quarter. Now, that also means Penn State can probably do an 80 bomb if they don't forfeit. Alright, back to pass. Gonna roll right, flag on the play, and goes absolutely nowhere. That was DPI too. They're going to move the chains. They cannot get this pitch game or run game going since the first drive. Or no, the second drive. Nothing has gone their way since the second drive. Alright, let's see what they do. Gas, free play. Back to pass. A good pocket this time. Gonna go up, and that is yet again Dick Green. Dick Green with a big reception. Alright, and that's gonna be 2-yard gain. Alright. Guys, free play, back to pass. Great pocket again. Starting to get some pressure, going up the middle, and picked off! Sadly say, but it was a free play. Alright, back to pass. No. Run play up the middle, fighting Sands, keep going. 14-yard gain. One of his 3 big gains of the day. Now, can we go back for a second? Just understand, sadly say, concentration on that play. Had a great pick. Just couldn't pull him. Alright, dead play on the offense. That is Flacco. I couldn't guess that. Our offensive tackle on the right side. Gas, back to pass. Good hit while he's strong, and incomplete. Alright. Well, it's placed. 2nd and 15. Gas, back to draft. Pass. Great pocket. Fighting Sense is open. No, he's not. He's going to maybe taking a run by himself. And in our football! Gas gets the ball. That is the end of the first. That is 2 fumbles and a pick thrown by Gas this game in only 1 quarter. Running back lined up as a receiver. Alright, back to pass. Finds. Oh! Broken up. Not PI. I'm just going to call for pass interference. Why is the 2nd down? Oh, the ref is really broken today. Fourth and 10. Back to pass. Gas. Gotta get it here. Touchdown! 2-3. Plus Dick Green yet again. Dick Green has been all over the field today, and with another touchdown. That's without this. Go for 2 to make it a touchdown lead. Game is far from over. And it's good. It's a touchdown lead. And one of their DBs are on to kick it. All right, 20-14. Back to pass. Caught. I can't say his name, but I'm just gonna call him Woods. That was offset. Alright, let's see what Penn State does. And it's gonna be a run play. Oh! He trucked his ass. Zach's first down. Wide receiver on defense. Oh my god. Why is there a receiver on defense? Back to pass. Not very. Damn! He trucked his ass. He's still going. He's going. Aaron Woods. Ronnie. First down. Back to pass. No, it's a run play and touchdown. Penn State. Game is far from over, but Penn State takes a 12-point lead. And it's good. The receiver threw it, and it's good. What is going on? (28-14), or double the score. Fumble! Penn State ball! Oh my gosh. Penn State ball, 28-14. Fixed. It's already back on. It's been a really good scrim. Washington only running 9 defensive players. Going down. The pass. No pressure, takes a shot. Incomplete. Ronnie drops the ball. Alright, let's see. Washington got 10 now. Back to pass. No pressure. And incomplete to Arapai. That'll be 2nd and 5 though, since it was a free play. Touchdown. Ronnie. Penn State is up 34-14. Sadly,
good. 35-14 is your scorecard. Down. Washington down 21. Auto 40. Washington really is gonna need this. Alright, gas, back to pass. And pressure, but he gets it off. Dick Green, the receiver. Back to pass, gas. Eddie's already sacked. Back to pass is gas. Pressured a little bit, lets it go. Overthrown. Dead play. Oh my god. Haha, false start. Washington. 3rd and forever. Back to pass. Pressure. Lets it go. And picked off. Mojo. Again, that's his 2nd pick of the day. Penn State is on. Can they forfeit? No, they can't. They gotta forfeit in the 4th quarter. Back to pass. No pressure. Now pressured. Caught by Ronnie. Ronnie. 2 touchdowns. Well, 1 touchdown. Big gains. And a good gain right there for 8 yards. Back to pass. Oh, your voice cracked, my fault. Alright, back to pass. Pressure gets hit and should have been picked off. That could have been a big 3rd and 2. Alright, he's back to pass. Okay, pocket. And arrow pie. Tackled him. But it was a free play. Quick snap, back pass. Has forever. Down takes a shot, broke it up by defects. Defects could have had a pick not long ago, except Mars threw a flag. 1st and 5. Maybe looking for another quick snap. No. Alright, well, he's back to pass. They're going to run it and fumbled, and it's a turnover. Wow. This is just terrible. Penn State had all the momentum. Could have dropped another touchdown on them, but now they give it back to a gas-led offense. Back to pass, fighting Sims pitches, and he gets tackled for a gain of 8. Doesn't matter? Hell no. Back to pass. Oh, fighting Sims finds a hole, gain of 3. That is the first down, Washington. Back to pass. Gets hit while he's thrown, and that's a turnover. Penn State with the interception. That is Bryce. Bryce with the pick. Dead play. Mars. Offsides. Back to pass. Finds. Who's that? Is that who I think? A Zion? No, not Zion. Not like Silver. Not something. It's something. Alright, back to pass. And he's sacked by Top Kid. Second at 22. Top Kid. First sack of the day. Back to pass. Good pocket. Climbs up. Oh, he might get sacked. Oh, he gets pressured a little bit, but Aeropod drops the ball. Third and forever. Back to pass. Pressure a little bit. Find someone over the middle. JJ. That is their tight end, and they're going to go for it 4th and 1. And it's run up the middle. Zax gets a first down easily. 3 yards of a play. 1st and 10 at the 20. Back to pass. And he'll be sacked by Flacco. Back to pass. Lets it ride for the end zone. Dropped again. Alright, back to pass. No pressure whatsoever. Over the middle, drop. No, it looked like overthrown that time. Coach wants to go for a field goal. Are they going to go for a field goal? No, they're going for it. Alright, back to pass. No pressure again. Now gonna pressure. Gets hit while he's throwing incomplete. Should have went for a field goal. Third. They got 17 seconds left in the half. Just a reminder, your halftime show sponsored by Geico. Great car insurance. Back to pass, gas. How long it's set down over the middle? Call. Will they call timeout or are they gonna go? Hurry up. They got 17 seconds left on the clock. Waiting for auto ref. Auto ref is blown. Snaps the ball. Back to pass. Throws a quick one. Stepped out of bounds by Real. Alright, 14 seconds left on the play. Terrible snap again that we have seen a lot on a lot of games this year. Steps up in the pocket, takes a shot. Oh, and he's open but overthrew him. First to 5 due to the free play. That was Mojo. Mojo had 2 picks today, actually. Back to pass, Fog on the play. Takes a shot. Could have been caught, maybe. Maybe grabbed it. But overthrown for the most part. Alright, that was on offense. Offensive pass interference. Dead play. It's going to keep on backing up. No. Penalties offset. Trying to go hurry up here, draw a flag. They don't. Back to pass. Got to be careful of the time. Takes a shot, and he's down by contact. Game at 26. Timeout. Timeout called Washington. They got 4 seconds to score right before half. Flag on the play. Get down there. Fighting sense. Good touchdown for Washington. We left 4 seconds on the clock. And no good for the 2-point. Penn State winning 35-20 right before half. All right, Penn State. Hey, already commentating will be. Hold on for a second. You guys go just watch this. I'll be right back.
I am back. Penn State, back to pass. Great pocket again. Finds Ronnie. And we'll go ahead and take you guys to a score update around the league. Recently, Texas A&M blown out. Marshall, SMU, just kicked off. Stream is up. Cal and Oregon. Oh, Cal beat the shit out of Oregon. I don't know what else to say. And on our game, that is 41 points. Touchdown, Penn State. My regards as they will be winning this quarter. And kicked out of bounds. Auto 40. Anywho, LSU won 38-8 in the season opener. SMU Marshall. Big alerts, big gains coming up. Alright, back to pass. Guess. Looking around. Trying to find something. Find some guy over in the middle. That is TR1. Broke up the pass. Incomplete. Alright, back to pass, and that was a free play, so sadly didn't get his pick. Oh my gosh. This is terrible. Terrible for these guys. Incomplete. And incomplete. This is 4th and 10. Gas is back to pass. Caught. First down. Second and 4 for Washington. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just doing texting and whatnot right now for my own team. Our gas back dress. Finds a man. No first down. Fighting sentence gets those tires now. Gas back to dress. First and goal. Pump fakes. Goes through the end zone. Touchdown. 41-46. Alrighty. Let's see what Penn State does on this drive. Maybe another blow up. I mean, what? Alrighty. Back to pass. Looks caught by Aeropie. Aeropie really wants a touchdown right now. Alright, back to pass. Finds a wide open. I don't even know how to say his name still, but Zion, I think. Webb. His last name's Webb. I'm just gonna call him Webb. That is Webb. Is that Webb? I'm just calling him Webb. Alright, back to pass. Great pocket again. Aeropie, touchdown. I mean, what is going on? He did not good to 200. Alrighty. Let's see. Broken up by Loyal. I am like not wanting to commentate this, but I'm here, baby. I'm here. It's for you guys. Doing it for you. SMU and Marshall has officially kicked off, by the way. And Cass is sacked for a loss of 1. Alright, back to pass. Thrown. Caught by tier 1. Alrighty. Guess doesn't want to run after what has happened, but finds a wide open Dick Green. He did not want to run after all of those fumbles. And a good gain. And thrown turnover again. That is how many picks? That is 3 picks thrown. Oh my god, dude. This team is such a troll. Scrim Warriors. Back to pass. Takes a shot. Wide open. Ronnie. Flag and play. That was on the defense. Art. Back to pass. Pockets closing in on him. And incomplete. Could he have caught that? Yeah, he could have. Incomplete again. Axel back to pass. Oh my gosh, who is guarding him? That's Aeropie. He gets a block, and he's going all the way. Wow. Wow. Aeropie touchdown 53-28. wide receiver back to the pass. He's doing things. That ain't shit. Gets his block. He's just running around the field. No one's gonna catch him. Make a play. He's just still up. He's still up. Still up. He's still going. Ronnie, he's still going. He's finally tackled by Nate Baxter. Wow. All that for a flag, by the way. Oh my god. And another flag. Fade. Did not complete the catch. Wow. Fourth quarter. Is he gonna forfeit? Gas does not want to forfeit. Call it. Fighting sentence is done. Game over. 53-28. Washington walks away with a big loss. What a fucking game.